Okay, this is week 34, Thursday. And the first one is a probability question. This is what is the probability of spinning a 2? So the first thing when I'm creating a probability, I want to see how many there are possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 possible outcomes, and now I want to see how many of them are 2. 1, 2, 3. 3/8 is my probability. This one says evaluate the expression. And again, whenever you see evaluate and it's talking about an expression, we're going to do order of operations. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I always put this down for my order of operation problems. So again, the first thing is parentheses. I do have parentheses, but inside the parentheses, I have 2 different signs. I have I have a subtraction and a multiplication. So I'm going to see which one comes first. Oh, multiplication. So I'm going to do the multiplication first. So it's going to be 3 plus 5 times 22 minus 20, because 5 times 4 is 20. Now I'm going to go back. Do I still have parentheses? I do. So I'm going to do that first. 22 minus 20 is 2. And I'm going to bring everything else down. Next, I see I have multiplication here. So I'm going to do multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10. And that means that the last step is 3 plus 10 equals 13. This one says order the numbers from least to greatest. So whenever I do this, I always try to convert my fractions into decimals. So I don't need to do that for 75/100ths or 5/10. So the first one is 2/3, and I already know 2/3 is going to be 66/100. Now let's say 3/8 you don't know. In order to create a decimal from a fraction, is you just think of this as a division sign. So this is going to be 3 divided by 8. And the first thing I like to do is add my decimal point and 2 zeros. And we're going to solve. It says can 8 go into 3? No, 0 times. Going to bring up my decimal point. But it can go into 30. 8 can go into 30 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. We're going to borrow. That's going to make a 6. Bring down your 0. 8 can go into 6 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. 60 minus... I see that I still have remaining, so I'm going to add one more 0 and bring down this. 8 can go into 40 5 times. So now that I have them all into decimal form, now I need to put them from least to greatest. So to do that, I need to compare my decimals. So I'm going to line them all up by their decimal point. The first thing I notice is they're not all the same length, but that's not a big deal. I just add the zeros until they are. And just like ABC order, this is all the same, so I'm going to go to the next one. I'm looking for the smallest, so the least. So I have a 7, a 6, a 5, and a 3. So the 3 is the smallest. So my first one is going to be 375 thousandths, which was 3/8. And I mark it out so I know that I used it. Now I'm going to go back and look again. I have a 7, a 6, and a 5. So that means that this one's next. So 5/10. The next one between 7 and 6 is 66/100, and that's equivalent to 2/3. And that means that the last one, or the largest one, is 75/100. The last one is a word problem. It says Miss Jackson got a case of apple juice for $10.14. She used a coupon to reduce the price by $1.50. If she has 8 boxes of juice, what is the cost of each juice box? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and see what operations I should have. So it says $10.14, she used a coupon to reduce by $1.50. Whenever you see that word reduce or coupon, I know I'm going to subtract. So the first thing I'm going to do is with $10.14, I'm going to subtract $1.50 from it to figure out how much that case was. 4 minus 0 is 4. Can't take that away. 11 minus 5 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. So she paid $8.64 for the case. It says each case has 8 boxes of juice. And that, what is the cost of each juice box? So I have my total amount, and whenever I have a total amount, I know I'm either going to divide or subtract. And when I see that word each, I know I'm going to divide. So it's going to be $8.64 divided by 8, so I can figure out how many each cost. 8 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. Bring down your 6. Bring up your decimal point. 8 can't go into 6, so that's going to be 0 times. 8 times 0 is 0. Bring down your 4. 8 can go into 64 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. You have a 0. So each box is $1.08 per juice.